She thought I'd be lost without her, until she saw me, building an empire with her best friend. I had the ring in my pocket and forever on my mind. She had my replacement's number on speed dial. Look, I'm not the type to air my dirty laundry online, but what happened to me 3 months ago, I still can't wrap my head around it. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you'll tell me I'm an idiot for not seeing it coming. Hell, maybe I was. 3 years. That's how long I'd been with Scarlett. 3 years of thinking I'd found the one, you know? The woman I'd build a life with. We met at a coffee shop, cliché I know, where she was taking Instagram photos of her latte and I was debugging code on my laptop. She thought it was cute that I was a software developer. Said she liked guys who were smart, stable, different from the usual jerks she dated. I should have paid more attention to that word, stable. Turns out stable is just another word for boring. Anyway, I'd been planning the proposal for 2 months, saved up for a ring that cost more than my rent, 1.5 carats, princess cut, the whole deal. Made reservations at Aurelio's, this upscale Italian place where we had our first real date. I even asked her dad for permission, which felt old-fashioned but right. The night started okay. Well, sort of. Scarlett showed up 20 minutes late, which wasn't unusual. She was always late, always had some excuse about traffic or a last-minute meeting with a brand sponsor. She was a lifestyle influencer, had about 300,000 followers back then, always posting about luxury handbags and 5-star brunches and living your best life. I didn't care about any of that stuff. I just cared about her. She looked beautiful that night. Black dress, heels that cost more than my car payment, hair done up perfect. But she seemed distracted, checking her phone every few minutes. I figured she was just stressed about some campaign deadline. "You okay?" I asked after our appetizers arrived. Yeah, fine." She didn't look up from her phone. "It's our anniversary, 3 years." "I know." She finally made eye contact, smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Sorry, babe, just handling some work stuff." Work stuff. Right. We made it through dinner with her checking her phone maybe 15 times. I counted. Each buzz made my stomach tighten a little more, but I pushed through. I had a plan. After dessert, I'd do it. Get down on one knee, tell her I loved her, ask her to marry me. The dessert came, tiramisu, her favorite. The waiter cleared our plates. This was it. My hands were shaking when I stood up, got down on one knee right there in the restaurant, pulled out the ring box. Other diners started noticing, pulling out their phones. I didn't care. This was our moment. "Scarlett, these 3 years have been the best of my life. You make me want to be better, work harder, dream bigger. I can't imagine my future without you in it. Will you?" Her phone buzzed. She looked at it, and something changed in her face. This weird smile, almost like relief. She looked at the caller ID. I saw the name flash, Tyler, and then she looked back at me, and she laughed. Not a happy laugh, a cold one. "Get up," she said quietly. "What?" "Get up. You're embarrassing yourself." She said it loud enough that nearby tables could hear. I stayed there, confused. The ring box open in my hand. "Scarlett, She grabbed my arm, yanked me to standing. The ring box fell, clattered on the floor. She didn't even look at it. "I can't do this anymore," she said. Her voice was different, harder, like she'd been holding something back for months and finally let it loose. "I've been seeing someone else, Ethan, for 6 months." The restaurant tilted. I swear to God, the whole room tilted sideways. People were staring. Someone's phone was definitely recording. 6 months? My voice didn't sound like mine. "Tyler." She said his name like it tasted good. "Tyler Brennan. You wouldn't know him, but he's the CEO of Brennan Tech Solutions. He's taking me to Paris next week. First class. Private jet, actually. My brain couldn't process it. You've been cheating on me for 6 months, and you're telling me now. Here? I was going to tell you last week, but honestly, I felt bad. Then I saw you made reservations here, and I figured... She shrugged. Actually shrugged. You were probably going to propose. Better to end it before you wasted money on a ring. I already bought the ring. I pointed at it on the floor. She glanced down. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I felt like I was going to throw up. Why? Why him? What does he have that I don't? Wrong question. I knew it the second I asked, but it was too late. Her eyes went cold. Everything, Ethan. He has everything you don't. Money, status, ambition beyond dreaming about some startup you'll never actually build. When was the last time you took me somewhere nice without checking your bank account first? When was the last time you surprised me with anything that cost more than $50? I'm building something. The algorithm I've been working on. Your algorithm. She laughed again. That thing you talk about constantly? That revolutionary AI matching platform that's going to change everything? Ethan, you've been working on that for 2 years. It's never going to happen. You're a mid-level developer with big dreams and a small paycheck. I need more than that. Every word hit like a fist. People were full-on staring now. A waiter awkwardly tried to approach and then backed away. So you used me, I said. My voice cracked. You stayed with me for 3 years while you... What? Looked for someone better? Used you? She tilted her head, considering. That's harsh. I cared about you, Ethan. I did. You were safe. Comfortable. Like a really good pair of sweatpants. But you don't build a life around sweatpants. Eventually, you want something that actually looks good. She picked up her purse. Stepped over the ring box without touching it. I hope you find someone at your level, she said. Someone who thinks Olive Garden is fancy and drives a 10-year-old Honda. She walked out. Just like that. Left me standing there in front of 50 strangers with a ring on the floor and my entire future in pieces. I stood there for maybe 30 seconds, maybe 3 minutes. Time felt broken. Then someone touched my arm. That was brutal. I turned. A woman stood there, maybe 30, blonde, dressed in an expensive-looking suit. She looked familiar, but I couldn't place her. I'm Sarah, she said. Sarah Chen. We've met before. I was at Scarlett's birthday party last year. She introduced me as her best friend. Best friend. Right. I vaguely remembered her. I'm sorry you had to see that, I managed. I'm sorry you had to live it. She handed me a napkin. I realized my face was wet. Can we talk? Outside? I need to tell you something. I really just want to go home and... She's been stealing from you. I blinked. What? Your algorithm. The one she just mocked? Tyler Brennan's company is about to launch a new AI platform next quarter. Want to guess where he got the core idea? My blood went cold. That's impossible. I never... Showed him? No. But you showed Scarlett. All those nights you explained your work to her, she was taking notes. Photos of your whiteboards. Screenshots of your code. She's been feeding everything to Tyler for 8 months. 8 months. But she said they've only been together for 6. She lied. Sarah's face was grim. She's been working with Tyler longer than she's been sleeping with him. And I have proof. So here's my question, Ethan. Do you want to go home and cry about this? Or do you want to make them both regret the day they ever heard your name? I looked back at the ring on the floor, at the other diners pretending not to watch, at my whole life crumbling in an upscale restaurant while someone filmed it for TikTok. I'm listening, I said. Sarah smiled. Good. Because Scarlett thinks you're going to fall apart without her. Let's show her what a mistake looks like. What would you do if the person you loved most stole your future and handed it to someone else? Drop a comment below. Sarah's office was on the 42nd floor of a glass tower downtown. Floor-to-ceiling windows, minimalist furniture, the kind of space that screamed money and power. I felt out of place in my off-the-rack suit, sitting across from her at a conference table that probably cost more than my car. She spread out a folder between us. Before we start, I need you to understand something. I'm not doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I'm a venture capitalist. I invest in people and ideas that make money. And your algorithm? It's worth millions, maybe more. I stared at the folder. Why are you helping me? Because Scarlett burned me too. Sarah's jaw tightened. 2 years ago, I was engaged. Great guy, stable career, we were planning a wedding. I introduced him to Scarlett at a New Year's party. 3 months later, he left me for her. She seduced him just to prove she could. Then dumped him 6 weeks after that when she got bored. Jesus. She's a parasite, Ethan. She finds good people and hollows them out for parts. I stopped being her friend after that, but I stayed in orbit, kept tabs on her. And when I saw her with Tyler Brennan at an event 4 months ago, laughing about some brilliant new platform he was developing, I got curious. She opened the folder. Inside were printouts of text messages, emails, photos. This is from Scarlett's iCloud. Before you ask, I have a friend who's very good at security consulting. She slid a photo across. That's your whiteboard from your apartment. Notice the date stamp? March 15th. And this, another photo, is Tyler's presentation to his board of directors, April 3rd. See any similarities? My algorithm, my work. Laid out in Tyler's PowerPoint like he'd invented it. I felt sick. There's more. Sarah pulled out printed emails. These are between Scarlett and Tyler. She's not just his girlfriend, Ethan. She's on his payroll. $50,000 in consulting fees over the past 8 months. She sold me out for 50 grand. Welcome to the wonderful world of corporate espionage. Sarah leaned back. Here's the thing. What they did is legal gray area. You weren't Tyler's employee, so technically you can't claim he stole company IP, and Scarlett will say you told her about your work voluntarily, which you did. A good lawyer could tie this up for years. So I'm screwed. No. Sarah smiled. You're motivated. There's a difference. See, Tyler made a mistake. He thinks he has your complete algorithm. But Scarlett doesn't actually understand what you built. She gave him the pieces she could see, but she missed the foundation, the core innovation that makes your system actually work. I thought about my code, about the months of work. The recursive learning protocol. The what now? It's the piece that makes the AI actually improve itself. Without it, the matching algorithm is just a fancy database search. With it, it gets smarter every time it runs. That's the revolution. And Scarlett never knew about it? I stopped talking about work around her 6 months ago. She kept zoning out, so I figured she wasn't interested. Sarah's smile got bigger. So Tyler's about to launch a product that looks impressive, but doesn't actually do what he's promising. While you and I are going to build the real thing, patent it properly, and launch it first. His company will tank, your company will soar, and Scarlett will realize she bet on the wrong horse. It sounded too good. Why would you invest in me? We just met. I've been watching you for 8 months, Ethan, ever since I realized what Scarlett was doing. I did my research. You're brilliant. You just lack confidence and capital. I can provide both. She slid a term sheet across the table. I'm offering $5 million for 30% equity. You keep majority control. We file patents this week, build a team, launch in 3 months, 1 month before Tyler. $5 million. I'd never seen that many zeros on anything connected to my name. What's the catch? No catch. This is business. You get funding and connections. I get equity in what I believe will be a unicorn company within 2 years. We both win. Scarlett and Tyler both lose. Call it justice. I looked at the term sheet, at the evidence of Scarlett's betrayal, at Sarah's confident smile. One question, I said. Why do you stay friends with Scarlett after she destroyed your relationship? I didn't. I cut her off. But I kept watching because I knew she'd eventually screw over someone I could help. Revenge isn't emotional for me, Ethan. It's strategic, and you're my strategy. Honest, at least. I signed the term sheet. The next 2 months were insane. Sarah wasn't kidding about building fast. She brought in a development team, people who'd worked at Google, Amazon, startups I'd only read about. We set up shop in a co-working space, worked 18-hour days, survived on coffee and takeout. Sarah handled business side, I handled technical, and somewhere in the chaos, something shifted between us. It started small. She'd bring me coffee the way I liked it without asking. I'd notice when she was stressed and order food from her favorite Thai place. Late nights debugging code turned into conversations about life, dreams, failures. She told me about her ex-fiancé, about building her VC firm from nothing, about the loneliness of success. I told her about my childhood, about my parents who thought programming was a waste of time, about building something that mattered. You know what's funny? She said one night around 2 a.m., both of us staring at code on 3 monitors. Scarlett thought she was trading up. Tyler's richer than you, sure, more established. But he's not brilliant. He's just rich. There's a difference. You think I'm brilliant? I was too tired to be smooth. I don't invest $5 million in mediocrity, Ethan. Our eyes met. Something electric passed between us. But she looked away first. Focus, she said. Launch is in 4 weeks. Scarlett didn't stay quiet. Her Instagram became a passive-aggressive highlight reel. Photos of her and Tyler at exclusive restaurants, in his penthouse, on his yacht. Captions like, "Finally living the life I deserve," and "Sometimes you have to remove dead weight to fly higher." Each post hurt a little less. Then, 3 weeks before our launch, Tyler's lawyers sent a cease and desist letter. Sarah read it in our conference room, laughing. They're claiming you stole Tyler's proprietary ideas. The ball's on these people. Can they stop us? Not a chance. We filed patents first. We have documentation of your work going back 2 years. And... She grinned. I may have leaked to TechCrunch that Tyler Brennan's new platform has serious technical flaws. They're running a story next week. You what? Business, Ethan. Welcome to the big leagues. Launch day arrived. We called it Nexus AI. Our platform did exactly what I'd promised. AI-powered matching that learned and improved. We targeted HR departments, dating services, any industry that needed smart connections between people or data. The response was immediate. Within 6 hours, we had 50 companies requesting demos. By day 2, Forbes called for an interview. By week 1, we had letters of intent worth $3 million in annual contracts. Sarah and I celebrated with the team at a bar downtown. Everyone was drunk on success and actual alcohol. She pulled me aside to the balcony. We did it, she said. You did it. I just wrote code. Don't sell yourself short. This is your vision. I just helped build the ramp. She paused. There's something you should know. Scarlett called me yesterday. My stomach dropped. What did she want? To meet. She says Tyler's company is imploding. The TechCrunch article killed their funding round. Investors are pulling out. She wanted to know if we'd consider acquiring Tyler's assets. Are you serious? Dead serious. And here's the kicker. She asked if you'd be willing to meet with her, said she wants to apologize, make amends. Sarah watched my face. What do you want to do? I thought about Scarlett, about the ring on the restaurant floor, about 3 years of my life given to someone who saw me as a stepping stone. Set up the meeting, I said. Let's hear what she has to say. Sarah's smile was dangerous. I was hoping you'd say that. Would you give someone who betrayed you a second chance, or is forgiveness just another word for foolish? Tell me in the comments. The meeting was in our conference room. Sarah insisted on home turf advantage. I got there early, sick to my stomach, second-guessing everything. What was I supposed to say to her? What was she going to say to me? Sarah squeezed my shoulder. Remember, you're not the same person she left in that restaurant. You're the CEO of a company valued at 15 million. She's the one who needs something from you now. Scarlett arrived exactly on time. She looked different. Still beautiful. She'd always be beautiful, but smaller somehow. Her designer outfit seemed less confident. Her smile was uncertain. Ethan, hi. She hesitated, like she wanted to hug me, then thought better of it. Thank you for seeing me. Scarlett. I kept my voice neutral. You wanted to talk? She glanced at Sarah. I was hoping we could speak alone. Anything you say to Ethan, you can say in front of me, Sarah said coldly. I'm his business partner, and unlike some people, I have his best interests at heart. Scarlett flinched. Right. Okay. She sat down, folded her hands. I made a mistake, a huge mistake. I was stupid and shallow, and I hurt you for all the wrong reasons. Which mistake? I asked. Cheating on me? Stealing my work? Or dumping me in public? All of it. Her eyes filled with tears. Real ones, I think. Tyler isn't who I thought he was. He's controlling, mean. He only wanted me because I was useful, because of the information I gave him. And now that his company is failing, he blames me. Says I gave him bad intel. We're getting divorced. You married him? I hadn't known that. 2 months ago, Vegas, it was stupid. She wiped her eyes. I thought he was my future, but he's just empty, Ethan. All money and ego and nothing real underneath. Not like you. You were real. You cared about me, not what I could do for you. Part of me wanted to believe her, the part that had loved her for 3 years. But I remembered Sarah's story about her ex-fiancé. Why are you really here, Scarlett? She took a shaky breath. I need help. Tyler's lawyers are saying I'm liable for the company's losses. Something about the information I provided being fraudulent. I could lose everything. My apartment, my savings, my Instagram sponsors dropped me when the divorce news leaked. I'm broke, Ethan, and you're the only person who ever really cared about me. There it was. The real reason. You want money. No, I mean, I need help, yes, but that's not why I'm here. She reached across the table for my hand. I moved it. I want you back. I know I don't deserve it, but these past 3 months without you made me realize what I had. You were the one, Ethan. You were always the one. I was just too blind to see it. Sarah snorted. This is pathetic. Scarlett ignored her. We can start over. I'll be better. I'll support your work. I'll be the girlfriend you deserved. Please, I love you. I never stopped loving you. For a moment, just a moment, I almost fell for it, because she looked so sincere, so broken, so much like the girl I'd wanted to marry. Then I remembered the restaurant, her laugh. You're embarrassing yourself. I stood up. No. Ethan, please. You don't love me, Scarlett. You love what I can do for you, just like you love Tyler's money and my algorithm and every other thing you could take from people. But I'm done being useful to you. That's not fair. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Lots of them. For 8 months. I felt surprisingly calm. You chose to steal from me, chose to cheat, chose to humiliate me publicly. Those weren't mistakes. They were decisions. I was confused. I was scared you'd never be successful enough. And now I am, so you want back in. I get it. I moved toward the door. Here's my decision. No. No second chance. No bailout. No friendship. We're done, Scarlett. We've been done since you threw my ring on the floor. You're being cruel. She was crying harder now. I apologized. Doesn't that mean anything? It means you're sorry you got caught. Sorry things didn't work out with Tyler. Sorry you bet on the wrong person. I opened the door. But it doesn't mean I owe you forgiveness. She stood up, desperate. Sarah's poisoning you against me. She's wanted revenge since you destroyed her relationship for fun? I cut her off. Yeah, she told me. And you know what? She was honest about it. She told me up front this was partially about payback. But she also invested $5 million in me when nobody else would. She built a company with me. She's earned my trust. You torched it. Scarlett looked between us, something clicking. Oh my God, you're sleeping with her. That's none of your business. You are. That's what this is about. She swooped in when you were vulnerable and… Enough. Sarah's voice cut like ice. You don't get to play victim here. You stole from Ethan, betrayed him, and now you want him to clean up your mess. The answer is no. Security will show you out. Ethan, please. I looked at Scarlett one last time, tried to find the person I'd loved, but all I saw was someone who'd never really existed. Goodbye, Scarlett. She left crying. I felt bad for about 30 seconds. Then Sarah pulled out her phone. That was great, by the way. Very cathartic. She scrolled through something. But it's about to get better. Tyler just posted on LinkedIn. She showed me the screen. Tyler's post was a disaster, a rambling explanation of his company's problems, blaming bad actors and industrial espionage and false information from unreliable sources. He didn't name Scarlett, but everyone would know who he meant. He's imploding in real time, Sarah said. His board is probably drafting his termination paperwork right now. Is it wrong that I don't feel bad? It would be wrong if you did. They tried to destroy you. They failed. That's not your fault. She paused. For what it's worth, you handled that perfectly. Firm, but not vindictive. Thanks. I sat down, suddenly exhausted. Did you mean what you said about me trusting you? Every word. Good, because there's something I need to tell you. I took a breath. I have feelings for you, real ones. Not rebound feelings or gratitude feelings, actual feelings. And if that's a problem for our business relationship, I understand, but I needed you to know. Sarah was quiet for a long moment. Then she smiled, a real smile, not a business one. It's not a problem, she said softly, because I have feelings for you too. Have had them for weeks. I just didn't want to complicate things while we were building the company. And now? Now we've built it. And maybe we can build something else too. She moved closer. But I need you to be sure, because I don't do casual and I don't do rebounds. If we do this, it's real. Full honesty, full commitment, no games. No games, I agreed. Just us. She kissed me. It felt nothing like kissing Scarlett. It felt like coming home. 2 days later, TechCrunch broke the story. Tyler Brennan's company was filing for bankruptcy. Investors lost over $50 million. Tyler resigned as CEO, facing multiple lawsuits. And Scarlett? Her name appeared in the court documents as a co-defendant in a civil suit for fraud and corporate espionage. Sarah and I watched the news together in our apartment. We'd moved in together the week before. Figuring if we could build a company in 3 months, we could handle cohabitation. "Do you feel bad for her?" Sarah asked. I thought about it. No, I feel bad for who I thought she was, but that person never existed. Good answer. She curled up against me. For the record, Ethan, you were never boring. You were never mediocre. You were just with someone too shallow to see your depth. That might be the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me. Get used to it. I'm excellent at romance. She was right about that too. When someone shows you who they really are, do you believe them, or do you give them another chance to hurt you? Drop your thoughts below. 6 months after our launch, Nexus AI was valued at $50 million. We'd closed our Series B funding, hired 120 employees, and signed contracts with 15 Fortune 500 companies. Forbes put me on their 30 under 30 list. TechCrunch called us the most exciting AI startup of the year. Tyler's company liquidated. He faced 7 years in federal prison for corporate espionage. Turned out Ethan wasn't his first victim. The FBI found evidence of IP theft from 4 other startups. Scarlett cooperated with prosecutors in exchange for probation. She got 2 years supervised release, community service, and a $50,000 fine. Her Instagram never recovered. Followers dropped from 300,000 to 30,000, mostly hate followers waiting for her to mess up again. Sponsors vanished. She moved back to her parents' house in Ohio. I know all this because I couldn't help checking sometimes. Not because I cared. I didn't. Not anymore. But because I needed to know she couldn't hurt anyone else. Sarah caught me looking one night. Still thinking about her? No, thinking about who I used to be. I closed my laptop. The guy who would have taken her back if she'd asked 6 months earlier. That guy was heartbroken and manipulated. This guy, she poked my chest, is smarter. Because of you. Because you chose to be. I just provided capital and devastating good looks. I laughed. Sarah made everything lighter. She understood ambition without cruelty, success without ego. We'd built something real together, both the company and our relationship. The trial happened in January. Federal courthouse, media circus outside. I testified for 2 hours about the algorithm, the theft, the betrayal. Sarah testified about the paper trail. Tyler's defense tried to paint me as a vindictive ex-boyfriend, but the evidence was overwhelming. Tyler got 7 years. Scarlett got probation. Afterward, in the courthouse hallway, Scarlett caught me alone. Sarah was talking to our lawyer, 50 feet away, but watching. Can we talk? Scarlett asked quietly. Just for a minute? I almost said no, but something in her face, genuine remorse maybe, made me pause. 1 minute. I'm sorry. She said it simply, no tears this time. I know you don't believe me, and I don't blame you, but I need you to know I understand now. What I did to you, what I am, it's not okay. I've been in therapy, court-mandated at first, but now I actually go willingly. And I'm learning that I've spent my whole life using people without seeing them as human. You, Tyler, Sarah's ex, everyone. I turned people into resources. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserved better. You always did. And because... She took a shaky breath. I want you to know that what you built, Nexus, your life with Sarah, all of it, you deserved that too. You didn't need me. You never did. I held you back. It was the most honest thing she'd ever said to me. I forgive you, I said. Hope flashed in her eyes. Really? Yes, but that doesn't mean we're friends. It doesn't mean I trust you. It means I'm letting go of the anger because carrying it around was hurting me, not you. Forgiveness is for me, Scarlett, not for you. She nodded slowly. I understand. For what it's worth, I'm glad you found Sarah. She's good for you. Better than I ever was. She is. I hope. She stopped, started again. I hope someday I can be better too. Not for you, just for me. I hope so too. She walked away. I watched her go, and for the first time, I felt nothing. No anger, no pain, no longing, just closure. Sarah appeared at my elbow. You okay? Yeah, I really am. Good. Because we have a company to run and an empire to build. No time for ghosts. She was right. 3 months later, Sarah and I got engaged. Real engagement this time, with a ring I could actually afford, though Sarah insisted on paying half because equal partners in life and business. We got married in a small ceremony with our team, close friends and family. No drama, no Instagram, just us and the people who mattered. Nexus AI kept growing. By year 2, we were valued at $200 million. Raised Series C funding, expanded internationally. The algorithm I'd built in my crappy apartment was now powering matching systems for healthcare networks, financial services, education platforms. I spoke at TechCon that year, gave a keynote about failure and rebuilding. Never mentioned Scarlett or Tyler by name, they didn't deserve the publicity, but talked about betrayal and how it can either destroy you or forge you into something stronger. Someone once told me I wasn't enough, I said to a room of 5,000 people. And they were right. I wasn't enough for them, but I was always enough for me. The people who can't see your value, they're not obstacles, they're filters. They remove themselves from your life, so you have room for the people who will actually appreciate what you bring to the table. Standing ovation. Sarah watched from the front row, crying happy tears. Afterward, a young developer approached me. Mr. Foster, I just wanted to say thank you. My girlfriend left me last year for my best friend, said I'd never amount to anything. Your speech made me realize I can prove her wrong. Don't prove her wrong, I told him. Prove yourself right. Build something you're proud of. Success isn't about them. It's about you. He nodded, energized, and walked away to build his future. That's when I knew we'd created something beyond a company. We'd created proof that betrayal doesn't define you, that the people who underestimate you don't control your destiny, that sometimes the worst thing that happens to you is actually the best thing, because it forces you to become who you were always meant to be. 1 year later, Nexus AI went public. IPO valued the company at $800 million. Sarah and I rang the opening bell at NASDAQ together. Our team cheered, investors celebrated. The business news channels ran the story all day. Somewhere in Ohio, I'm sure Scarlett saw the coverage. Maybe she was working a retail job. I'd heard she got hired at a local boutique. Maybe she was scrolling through her dead Instagram account, looking at photos from when she thought she was winning. I hoped she was okay. Really, I did. But more than that, I hoped she learned something. That evening, Sarah and I stood on our balcony overlooking the city. Our city now. We'd built this life together, the company, the relationship, the future. Did you ever imagine this? She asked. No, I admitted. I imagined something smaller, safer, a life with Scarlett that would have been fine but never extraordinary. And now I'm grateful. Because if she hadn't left, I never would have found you, never would have built Nexus, never would have become this version of myself. I pulled Sarah closer. Some losses are actually gains in disguise. You just can't see it until you're on the other side. That's very philosophical for a software developer. I learned it from a venture capitalist who took a chance on me. She kissed me. Best investment I ever made. The city lights sparkled below us. Somewhere down there, people were building dreams, fighting betrayals, learning who they were, just like I had. The best revenge isn't destruction, it's construction. Build something so meaningful, so successful, so genuine that the people who betrayed you become footnotes in your story. Not villains, not obstacles. Just names you barely remember when you're standing on top of everything you created. Scarlett thought I'd be lost without her. She was wrong. I didn't need her to be found. I just needed her to get out of the way. Here's the truth. The people who leave you don't get to decide your worth. You do. So tell me, who underestimated you, and what empire are you building to prove them wrong? Drop your story in the comments below. And if this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see it.